Welcome to the Big Ol' Bracket. Here, Jacob and I are joined by three friends to scream over fictitious matchups and have debates no one ever asked us to have.
You know, like Best Pompadour in Anime or Best Animated Kids Show between 1994 and 2005. Stuff that doesn't really matter in the long run, but hey, what else are we gonna do?
Once we determine a topic, we pick the competitors, match them up using our highly advanced randomization system.
An old bingo bag with the names written on a slip of paper.
Then we yell, argue, and insult each other until a winner is determined. Then we move on to the next round and do it all again.
When all's said and done, we have, in theory, the best example of whatever it is we're debating.
Will we still be friends when this is all over?
Let's
find out. Scott's Red Bull is so strong. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Big Ol' Bracket. This one proves to be, how do I want to say it?
You thought I got upset at Brink. Just wait till tonight.
Say, Jacob, can you introduce the topic for this bracket?
This bracket is going to be the best video game franchise. Franchise is defined as a series of games that has at least 5 major releases that can include expansion packs, standalone DLC, whatever. But it has to have at least 5. So stuff like Mass Effect that only has 4 is out of here.
So by major expansion, like
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, like World of Warcraft expansion, but not like
Yeah.
something like Lair of the Shadow Broker. While good, I don't think that would count as a major. expansion.
No.
You know-
it would have to be
Yeah.
a standalone
okay.
piece of content.
Yeah.
That would be more DLC.
Yeah, that's what I
would
was.
consider
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
why I was just clarifying.
Like a lot of stuff in Borderlands is like huge DLC, but like stuff in Diablo, it actually adds on
Yeah,
an
exactly.
entire section of the
Exactly.
game.
Okay.
So, I am not excited for how much we're going to yell at each other.
Because we have some opinions on video games.
There are some video games that did not make the list that I'm upset about, but that was just the parameters. Of the list.
Should we
the
do an
parameters
honorable
of the
mention
list?
shout out real quick before we start?
If you can remember what is on the list without looking at your phone.
Okay, no. So
absolutely.
honorable mention. We're gonna go ahead and say Mass Effect didn't quite hit the parameters because it's only 4 games, but 2 of those games are pretty good.
Diablo also did not make it onto the potential list of games, mainly because we thought that other things, while Diablo did technically
At
qualify,
5 games technically. Yeah.
it didn't serve the spirit of the list as much as other games would have.
I'm
Steve-
upset about Diablo.
Steve, I know you had something to say.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed that MLB The Show was not on here. And I understand.
Just silence from the
and,
room.
and that's it.
It's
I
sports
understand they didn't want any sports games on there. But I feel like when a sports game, an annual sports franchise comes out and it has a better RPG system than most modern day RPGs, it needs to at least be mentioned.
Yeah. No, the show is
It-
pretty legit.
Thanks for your input.
Also-
It has been mentioned.
Also, we talked about NBA 2K, but I don't think any of us actually play NBA 2K.
We legitimately
I just know
did
that
talk
when I
about
worked-
putting
if
some of
there
these
were
on the list.
5 NBA Street games or NFL Street
Yeah.
games, yeah, absolutely.
I just
because those are
know-
awesome.
Well, if you include NBA Street and then also Ballers,
Technically, it fits.
I just know
Yeah,
that when I
technically.
worked at an
And
undisclosed
Oops.
game store, people did buy NBA 2K a lot and seemed
Yes.
to enjoy
oh,
it.
we did not put NBA Jam on here, which maybe is an
It's-
oversight
it's
by
only
ourselves.
But like
64.
once again, do any of us really play that one?
I
that
play
much?
NBA Jam a lot.
And it's only 64 games, so not every series
Yeah.
could make it on this
Yeah,
list.
this is what we consider
Okay.
the best. There are some on here that will not make it past
a couple-
number 1. Hold on, we've
sorry.
got to
Oh,
avoid
okay.
talking over each other.
Yeah.
There are a couple on here that are obviously like, oh, why is that on here? And it's because it's funny.
Also, some of them have a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like
so
if
it
your
would-
series has like 10 games, you can't not be included on best video game franchises.
Sandog the Hedgehog, for instance.
One that I wanted to throw out there, it barely qualified, and I know I'm the
my
only
mind.
person that really likes this franchise, but Breath of Fire is consistently quality throughout almost the entire franchise, up until the most recent mobile game that was not good. But
There was a mobile game?
yeah, Breath of Fire 6 was a freemium mobile game that only released in Japan. Isn't that great?
That's great.
All
But
right.
yeah, I just wanted to shout out Breath of Fire is fucking great.
So, before we get started, let's go down the row. We'll start over there with the yellow mic. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
My name is Steve. Got roped into this.
But he's
Really
gonna
glad
have
to be
fun.
here.
It's a fun time.
Stockholm Syndrome sets in quick.
Looking forward to stand for my series. Don't know what
Next
else
up.
y'all want me to say.
Next up.
I'm Tim's and I live here.
Tim's was on the last one, so if you want an actual introduction,
Also, I was here
Go
on
watch the
last
other
one.
video.
I'm Tim's. Rob.
I'm Jacob. You know me by now. I hate everyone.
Hi, I'm Kyle.
He likes orange.
Your match! I didn't even realize you matched!
Oh wow, is that why you wanted the orange mic so
Yes,
bad?
it
You
is.
fucking bastard. I'm
My
Scott.
games match
I've been around. I'll keep being around.
All right, without
He's my
further
roommate.
without further ado, so what we all did, we all have these little Star Wars badges.
Don't put that up to the. You can't. Don't. You blur that out. Blur that out.
I think it's
Mr.
They're
Lucas
copyrighted
will have our
characters.
heads.
fine.
But we don't have the rights to the likenesses.
Doesn't have the logo.
fine.
What we
Here,
did
it's
on
headless.
what we did on these is
There you
we
go.
wrote down
That's perfect.
what series we want to win and what franchise we think is going to win. Could be the same one, could be a different one. We don't know what anyone else put, but at the end of all this, from 6 hours from now, however long it's going to
Oh,
take,
God.
we will reveal those to each other.
Hopefully it'll go by faster. We're gonna try and make it clip along a little bit better.
So we have our randomizer, the best
Our-
randomizer in the world.
Our best friend.
Carrie's bingo bag, the cool, cruel mistress that she is. So
Logistical question, real quick.
Yes.
When something wins, does it go back into the bag in the next round?
No,
and
no,
go
no. It just
randomized?
moves on into the bracket.
Okay.
We're randomizing the
Okay.
first round.
Okay, I thought
First
maybe
round.
the second and third round were also randomized.
Nope.
'Cause that'd be wild.
whole thing's
That would
random.
be too much.
That'd be wild.
That'd be
All right.
bananas.
That's maybe a later in the series type of thing.
So
I'm
season-
drinking some chocolate milk.
season finale.
some chalky chalk.
From your favorite brand.
Nothing. There's no brands. There's no such thing as brands.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out the first video
All
game
right,
series.
There we go. Here we
Who
go.
wants next?
It's me. All right. So what's yours?
Civilization.
Oof. That's a tough starter.
And put all the pulled ones down there at the center.
All right. First round is Civilization versus Kingdom Hearts.
Could not be more different.
Oh,
That's really
man.
funny.
All right, so Civilization, let's move on.
Bananas, no.
Ah,
Civilization 3 is the only one that I played. It was fun. Kingdom Hearts is my childhood.
I'm trying.
The thing is, Civilization, like, you can't argue the quality. Like, all of
Yeah,
them are
every
just
one of the
consistently
Civilization
good.
games are consistently
And
good
Kingdom Hearts
quality.
is consistently 3 out of 5.
Okay, here's what I'll say though. My biggest problem right now is I'm trying to figure out how to put these two next to each other and debate
I
them.
mean, that's going to be the whole bracket, right?
So what I will say is I love RTSs.
Sure.
Civilization, while I agree that none of them are bad, I also wouldn't say that any of them are all that different.
I mean, yeah. They
Um,
are
they're-
kind of...
It's the same
They
thing.
build on each other.
No.
They
they're
all
very
but,
different.
Well, but sure, but like they kind of want you just play the most recent one because
Yeah.
they keep adding on things rather than changing things.
Like I
Not
wouldn't.
necessarily. From what I've seen, there's a lot of people that will debate whether to play 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Really?
Those 4 specifically are debated between pretty readily.
Okay. So I think in that situation, I think that's kind of a Smash Brothers kind of question where it's like there's a whole bunch of games and people might have a preference for this one, or this one.
I think Smash Brothers is a bad example because all 4 of those games are actually super duper different.
No.
5, rather.
What I'm saying is people have a preference for
Sure,
which one they
okay.
like more. But in Civilization, if you're gonna go play Civilization, unless you're a huge Civilization fan, you're gonna get the most recent Civilization. You're not gonna
Sure.
go around and looking for Civilization 3 or
I
Civ
definitely
5.
bought only
Whereas with Smash
Civilization
Brothers,
3.
a lot of people will go search for
Okay,
Melee.
yes,
so
exactly.
but
specifically.
conversely, if you want to get into Kingdom Hearts right now with Kingdom Hearts 3, like this guy tried to do, doesn't work.
You played 1 and 2.
Hey, guess what?
Guess
Still
what else you
doesn't
need
work.
to play? Guess
Yeah,
what
you
else
You have to
you
play
need to
play all
1,
of them.
2,
You need to play
Orange
Dream Drop
Chain of
Distance. You
Memories,
gotta play
Dream
Return-
Drop Distance, 258 over
gotta
half
play Union
days,
Cross,
Union
turns out.
Cross.
There is major
I need to watch it.
major Union
Oh, no, it's a
Cross
phone
lore.
I
There
know,
is
I played
major
that, but
Union Cross lore in
I've gotta
Kingdom Hearts
watch.
3.
There-
I've gotta
there-
watch the videos that are on the the back cover thing. The newest
And
expansion,
2.8
2.8. Yeah,
final
that
chapter
one.
prologue.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you better watch it because it's important to the story.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
What's your vote?
I'm gonna hate myself for this.
Don't you do it.
Do it.
You agreed with us.
Don't you do it,
Who would
Steve.
have expected
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts versus
Okay,
Civilization?
Let me explain.
You know, I'm going to backpedal, actually. I vote for Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts.
Okay.
Wait, hold
let's-
on. Let me say one more thing. Before we get to this, because I do have one more point to bring up.
Okay.
Civilization. Was it an Emmy?
What?
They won the Grammy Music Awards.
And no
What?
matter what a Grammy.
They won a Grammy for their soundtrack.
I'm looking this.
Hey,
up.
Whatever.
Kingdom Hearts won a 7.8 out of 10 on GameSpot.
7.8.
Okay.
Hold
Here's the way I look at it. If it wasn't Civilization that it was going against, if it was going against another RPG, I'd have no problem
Yeah.
voting against Kingdom Hearts here. Because I mean, I like Kingdom Hearts, but I admit that most of the games that have been released have been below standard.
Kingdom Hearts is going to get very far because
But-
it doesn't go up against an RPG, and that's going to piss me the
But
fuck off.
my thing is, I've only played one of the Civilization games. I'm not a big RTS person.
So
Personally, I would have Kingdom Hearts going ahead of it because at least
yeah,
And
I've
that's-
played. Well, I haven't played
thought
the
it
side
won.
games in Kingdom Hearts. It's part of the reason I hated Kingdom Hearts 3 because I don't feel like you should have to play side games in order to enjoy a mainline game.
Agreed.
I agree, though, and that's why I decided to switch my opinion, is I respect the quality of Civilization from an outward viewer's perspective. Real talk, I have played Civilization for a cumulative 4 hours ever, probably. I've watched Civilization, but I haven't played a lot of Civilization.
So I've played a good bit of Civilization, but it's not a game I've ever sat down and played for an extended period of time, like maybe more than a day or more than maybe 3 or 4 hours at a time. Like Kingdom Hearts is a game I've played a lot. Also, I would say culturally, Kingdom Hearts has a lot more impact
And
than
if
Civ.
nothing else, Kingdom Hearts, through its ups and downs, Kingdom Hearts 1 for me is still a stone cold fucking classic. It is one of my favorite games ever, and Civilization is a game that I consistently buy the newest version, play it for like an hour, and then never play it again.
Exactly.
I
yeah.
don't understand how anyone can play Civilization for an hour and then put it down because I play literally for 9 hours straight.
That sounds
I
awful
love
to me.
RTSs, and I've never done that with
good.
Civ.
Maybe I'm just
Oh
really
my God,
bad at
I
Civilization.
start playing the
Terrible
game
at it.
and then I play non-stop until I beat that
The problem
game
with
and then I play it again.
The problem with Civilization is that there's such an intense learning curve that
I
once
agree.
I hit the point where I realize I don't know what I'm doing, I don't want to sit there and figure it out anymore.
Are you playing against the computer or no?
Yes.
Okay, so there's not a learning curve against the computer, really. at
There's
least
a
in my
learning curve because the
experience.
game has so many mechanics, is the thing. And yes, that is just me being inexperienced. That's just me being stupid. That's not a knock against the game.
But
But
it
it
is
means
your
that
opinion.
I can't necessarily vote in favor of that game because I just actually don't know enough about it.
Okay, so if we're gonna go by that measure, like, I can't win because everyone here doesn't play Civ but me. on
I've played a
serious
lot
level.
of Civ.
That plays into it too. Kingdom Hearts is going to have a much higher fan base because it's more accessible.
Well,
it was
sure.
more
It was
accessible.
more accessible.
It used to be more accessible.
Well, and then that's the thing with this whole bracket. It's
No,
going to
I
come down to
understand
personal
that.
opinion
For sure.
to a large degree.
But I think we definitely should look at the quality of games as well.
I
here.
agree, but there's a lot of factors to factor into
and
what you
Kingdom
think is the
Hearts
best franchise.
Has 1.5 good games total.
No, here's the thing.
I say cumulatively 2.5, but like it's not that 2.5 of the games are good. It's that one of the games are good, and then like a third of a bunch of the games are
Here's
good.
the thing about Kingdom Hearts as a series. It definitely has some real bad points and some off. I hate 3DS with all of my fucking heart. But when it's good, it's really, really good.
Well, and even Kingdom Hearts 3, even though I once I finished that game, I was not happy about it. I was kind of really disappointed. But there were still moments in that game where I felt like a fucking kid again. I felt the fucking magic that Kingdom Hearts is supposed to bring.
So do you guys want to go up to a vote?
It was there for a little bit of
I mean,
Kingdom
I
Hearts
think
3.
it's already determined. so-
Yeah.
If you're voting for Kingdom Hearts, raise your hand.
I don't feel good about it.
I
No,
don't
me
either. I
neither.
feel bad about this.
Fuck both of you.
Next round,
Hey,
it's gonna go again.
No, we'll go all
No,
against it next round.
no. You have to vote now because this is where I'm voting against it. But I know you two's favorite games are still coming up.
Oh, good. Jacob's gonna vote against Mega Man and Resident Evil just cuz.
All right,
That's
Scott,
not what I
Golden Axe.
said.
Well, Resident Evil's got Kingdom Hearts beat on the writing, so.
Oh, yeah. And
Steve?
that's so funny because it's still Resident Evil.
It's true, but it shouldn't be.
All right, next up on the list.
Dragon Quest.
Soul Calibur.
Ooh.
That's
this
a
is
spicy
interest-
one.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
It's a spicy one because it also.
All right,
has-
so I'm gonna go ahead
Oh
and
shit!
say.
Final Fantasy.
What are you doing?
Why are you pulling one?
Why'd you pull a name? We haven't debated this.
Wait,
Put it
wait.
You
back.
idiot.
Oh, I thought.
All right, so my I mean, obviously, I'm gonna go Soul Calibur. I think from 2 onward, those games have all been fantastic and different enough that you can still go back and play each one individually now and have a good experience.
Soul Blade was still pretty good, too.
For the time, it's
Yeah.
like Tekken or Tekken 2, where it has like a ... for the time.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. I don't love fighting games. I never have. But there is some weird magic about Soul Calibur that makes me love playing
It's
Soul
the
Calibur.
kind of fighting game that like almost anyone who doesn't play fighting games can jump in and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like Bushido Blade. I love that. I love weapon based.
I love Bushido. It's very
Yes.
different than Soul
Yes,
Calibur,
but
but
much
yes.
more traditional. But I love the weapon aspect of it, which I think that gives it a different kind of spin than other fighting games. Other fighting games might have characters that have weapons, but this game is about the weapons.
So actually, I play a lot of fighting games. I'm the fighting game guy of this group. You don't stop. No, quit. No. You're making a lot of noise on the mic that you don't want to deal with.
Jacob likes Street Fighter. You probably couldn't tell.
I like a lot of fighting games. The thing about Soul Calibur that is so special, and I think it's why it clicks with a lot of people, is like Tekken has the left and right controls with the buttons. Street Fighter has the 3 punches, 3 kicks. Marvel has the Magic series. Soul Calibur,
Wait, the Marvel has the Magic series?
yeah, ABC Special.
I didn't know that they had.
Yeah, it's ABC Special or it's.
Why is it called the Magic series?
Because if you do light, medium, heavy, special, it will always combo into each other.
Oh, okay.
It's the Magic series of buttons to combo.
Gotcha.
learning things today.
At least with Marvel 3. In Marvel 2, it's a
We'll get
4-button
to that
fighter.
at some point.
But we're gonna get there. With Soul Calibur, and this is, I feel, a reason that a lot of people can pick it up pretty quickly without even realizing they're doing it. It's a rock, paper, scissors system.
Yeah.
Horizontals, verticals, and kicks. And one typically beats the other. And so you can kind of go, oh, if I hit this button, it beats this button in your head subconsciously. And it translates really, really well to a game.
The other thing that's, like that's similar to Dead or Alive, it's rock paper scissors system, but the grab, strike, parry system in Dead or Alive is kind of really hard to get
You have
used
to get your timing down.
Whereas
Yeah.
with Soul Calibur, it's 3 buttons, very easy to understand. Soul Calibur also has a really high skill ceiling because of the parry system.
Yes.
That's really interesting. And in some games, it works better than others. I think it's Soul Calibur 6, is that one we're on now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of that recently, and
They just nerfed that, actually.
the
The guard thing where you
Okay.
can hold your guard, they just nerfed it to where you can guard break those.
Gotcha. Well, what I was gonna say is
From what I
the parry system in that. There's just a lot of moves that have parries built into it, which is really interesting mind games. And it when you get a series of parries going back and forth between 2 players, it is a lot of fun.
So, does anyone have anything to say about Dragon Quest?
I have a few things to say about it. I'm not gonna defend it. I'm probably gonna go with Soul Calibur because of all the things that have already been said. But the thing with Dragon Quest that I've noticed, especially with like the more recent releases, it's been pretty much the same game every time it comes out.
I
There
agree.
haven't been new mechanics.
Well, okay, so Dragon Quest, the newest one, was a little different.
The newest one still followed the same premise that all the other ones did, though, where it was like you're this boy
Well, sure.
and you get raised in this little village, and a bad thing happens.
I guess the battle system's a little different.
The battle systems
the
have been
newest one.
tweaked every once
But
in a
yeah,
while.
it is very much that classic thing. But that's part of the strength of Dragon Quest, is that every other JRPG franchise, it's gone in an action direction, or it's gone with like a weird, like semi-automated battle system. Dragon Quest it hasn't changed, but it hasn't needed to because it fills that very specific
really-
itch that nothing else does.
I'm not really talking about like the way the combat's done. I'm talking about just it just feels
The
like the
setting,
same
yeah.
game. Like if you take like Dragon Quest VIII, which was like that
Probably
was
the
really
best
my
one.
first Dragon Quest. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
But if you take Dragon Quest VIII and go play 9 or 10, which I don't think they got released until like a DS port.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
then,
think
well,
that's
10,
correct.
The
I
fact
think
that-
10 was an MMO actually.
The fact that they
That's even worse.
weren't releasing these in the U.S. at the same rate that they'd be releasing the Final Fantasy games because there's not as much of a following for Dragon Quest, and I feel it's because there's not a lot of innovation
Well,
really.
and-
All right, 1, 2, 3. Soul
Soul
Calibur.
Calibur.
Calibur. Yay.
Soul Calibur.
And that's when Scott goes Dragon Quest. He
Now
was
I
getting this
will
the whole time.
Properly draw one.
Thank you.
Oh my fucking god. You mess up once around here.
You mess up at least 7 times a day.
Yeah, and 6 of them have already been at work, so...
So no more scripts tonight.
Oh, yeah, no more. I've met my quota. Animal Crossing.
It's gonna go down quick.
You say that.
Is
I'm gonna say this in your Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
All right, let's move on.
Animal Crossing.
There's no debate to be had here.
There's no debate.
There is absolutely a debate.
All right,
Metal
debate it.
Gear.
Can you convince 3 of us?
4 of us.
No, he has to
I have
convince
to
3.
convince 2.
You have to convince 2 to swing the vote.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
convince 2 of us?
Probably not. But Kojima, you're a hack. I'm coming for you next round.
So, in case anyone was unclear, Metal Gear just
Metal Gear
stomped
1.
on Animal Crossing's face.
Tom Nook's a better
But
character than Solid Snake.
I do love Animal
Yeah,
Crossing. to be
not
clear.
saying that we dislike Animal
But
Crossing.
if you're looking at best video game franchises in
Yeah.
Animal
I
Crossing,
dislike Animal Crossing.
one of the
Animal
best
Crossing's
video game
another one of
franchises
those
of all
games
time.
where it's the
Hey, but
same
Tim's
thing
Animal
over
Crossing
and
is
over.
gay culture.
Actually is.
It
Isabel.
Is. Isabel's pan, I think. Bye.
Rainbow Six.
Ugh.
That's it. Hey.
Unreal Tournament.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
tough
man,
one. That's a tough one. That's a toughie for me.
I gotta go with Unreal Tournament because
Yeah.
I've never in my gay life played a Rainbow Six
never-
game.
But it's a rainbow.
I know, right?
Different
And I
rainbow.
should, but like,
different rainbow.
Unreal Tournament is I think the first shooter that I was allowed to play for some reason. Well, because I was at my cousin's house and he was
Sure,
playing it.
sure.
And my dad was like, "Oh,
is this
you
the
can
Final
play it."
Fantasy VII cousin?
No, different cousin.
Ah, gotcha.
We'll get to that. No, Unreal Tournament. It's just really easy to pick up and play. I don't know. It's just a good time. Good solid time.
I do have an interesting story about Unreal Tournament. Before I ever played it when I was really young, I always heard about it, but I never played it, and didn't realize it was a FPS like combat like team game. I thought it was an action adventure game. So
yeah, you had it way wrong.
so when I popped in Unreal Tournament, I was very, very confused.
Why do I have a gun?
I would wait. Why am I fighting all these people? Where's the quest marker? What am I doing?
Why is it first person?
And I mean, you have to. I think you have to put out there just with Unreal Tournament, given we have the Unreal Engine that almost every game is
Well,
built on.
and Unreal Tournament was one of the first interesting esports too.
I
Which
agree.
is very
Yeah,
much worth
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
I mean, Quake was.
I didn't say it was the first.
But one
I
of
just
the
said one of
first,
the
yeah.
first
One of the
interesting
first.
ones.
I
don't think competitive Quake is nearly as interesting as
Oh,
competitive.
dude,
as
if
it's
you
not
have
as
not
interesting as
seen-
competitive Unreal Tournament. Competitive Unreal Tournament fucking rules.
Watch competitive Quake 2 and tell me that it's not the most fun ass thing you've ever watched. Like old school Quake 2, like or Quake Arena, like super fun.
Unreal
to
Tournament
watch.
also had that weird Xbox release that was pretty solid with the melee
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah,
it
the
was
Leandry
weird.
conflict.
Yeah,
it's
and it
one
had
of my
like
favorite
really
games on the
cool
Xbox.
character designs, and I don't think it was the first. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and Jedi Outcast came out before Unreal Tournament on Xbox, right?
Yes, I believe
Because
so.
I was just Unreal Tournament had the where you go into third person to do the melee combat, and I
Yes.
know that those Star Wars games did that as well.
It was-
but
it
it was a
was-
cool system.
It was towards the end of. No, I don't know when it. I don't know. It was like in the last third of the Xbox's life.
I don't
when it
have
came
any
out.
in particular grudge against Rainbow Six, other than like they're all Rainbow Six games.
Well,
Oh,
and
but they're not.
Okay,
but
so
they're not.
the other issue with
Um,
Rainbow Six is that I don't really feel like it started peaking until the 360.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
And the
with
ones
that.
on the 360 are fantastic, but I don't know if I'd ever want to go back and play any of the ones before
Can I
that.
talk about this as a Rainbow
Yeah,
Six
sure,
fan
sure.
real quick? Okay, so Rainbow Six started peaking at Rainbow Six 3. Rainbow Six 3 was a really, really cool squad-based, like, tactical shooter.
What system was that on?
It was on Xbox.
Okay.
I remember Xbox and PC, I'm sure. But I know for sure Xbox because that's what I played it on because I was younger. But it was one of the most interesting and like had me thinking about where I was gonna move on a map shooters that I've ever played. And my friends and I played that for literal months straight. Like, we started playing Halo 2. That's how we became friends. And then we're like, oh, we all have Rainbow Six. Do you guys want to play that? And then we
I thought
did
y'all
not go
became
back.
friends on PSO.
That's where, yes, we matched up in Phantasy Star Online, and then we started playing.
He wanted to omit
Shout outs
that.
to Phantasy Star also didn't make the
Oh,
list.
I love
but, you know.
Phantasy Star Online. Yo, that game's really good. Check out Blue Burst. You can still play it, I'm pretty sure.
In the year 2000, Sega announced that it would, within the year, create a new world. In that virtual world, the Internet. And draw the front line of network gaming for the whole world.
Bring PSO.
You heard
to
it here first.
Sega,
Also-
bring PSO2 to America.
Also, Phantasy Star 3 and 4 on Sega are good too.
But Phantasy Star, so we moved to Halo after we partied once in Phantasy
sure.
Star, and then we started playing Rainbow Six 3, and that it made me think about like how to do things in a video game differently, and made me realize just how important positioning and movement in shooters was. Because I just kind of ran around and shot things in Halo 2 and everything else before that.
Well, that's how Halo works.
Yeah,
Siege? It's not Siege, sorry. Rainbow Six, raise your hand.
it's only me. I'm the only one.
Unreal Tournament.
No, I'm backing up. Rainbow Six.
No,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
the thing
Doesn't
is,
matter. You've already voted against me.
I gotta go with Unreal mostly because, like, like I said, I didn't play a lot of the multiplayer, like the online stuff in Rainbow Six, but I remember playing Unreal Tournament 3 and having the most fun I've ever had with any online shooter. That's what I'm basing
And
mine
that's
on.
No,
not
that-
even,
that's
and that's
fair.
not even the good one, and that's how much fun he had. That series must be great.
Oh, that's.
Oh, I
Rainbow
mean, it's a
Six-
great
or not
series.
Rainbow
Who
Six.
pulled one last?
I'm not mad at that one.
Unreal 3 is one of the best.
Tim's
ones,
pull
I'm
one.
Sorry.
It was Scott. Wait,
No, Unreal Tournament 3 is
You
fun.
and
Tim's
Scott.
and you pulled, and then me and Steve
No,
pulled,
me
and now
and-
it's
Just someone pull it.
It doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
whatever.
Here, I'll pull one.
So Unreal one.
Yeah. None of these have been too
I
hard
hate
yet.
that too, because I
Oh
like
wait,
Vegas too.
it'll get
Oh,
there.
it's gonna get bad.
All of
Round-
my stuff. Is,
Imagine when we get Zelda and Kyle's like, Zelda insta loses. The game series isn't
This
even
is
good.
going to be fun.
What is
Go
yours?
ahead.
Dynasty Warriors.
Aw, girl.
Kirby.
oh.
Oh, that's a little.
No, I can't.
No,
Oh my
Kirby
God.
wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kirby wins.
Kirby's, yeah. Kirby,
There is so-
Kirby.
Kirby
Oh man,
64,
Kirby
man.
might win this whole bracket.
I
Kirby's
just-
really good.
Fuck up! You better not win.
See, here's my thing with Dynasty Warriors. When I was younger, I played a lot of different Dynasty Warriors games because if you went
God.
if you went to GameStop,
did.
they had basically an entire wall of Dynasty Warrior
Yeah,
games.
guys.
I played like seven.
Hyrule
I
Warriors?
played like 7 of them. I never played one for more than about 2 days and went, boy, this is just not
You-
worth it.
So-
you haven't
Samurai
played-
Warriors.
Steve specifically can back me up. We played probably 100 hours of Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3.
But I think it's more because you love Gundam more than you love Dynasty
No, that
Warriors.
game's
no, it was
fun as
so
hell.
much
That
fun.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2 and 3 are legitimately
I'm
the best
not
Dynasty
saying
Warriors
they're
games,
bad
and they're super
games,
fun.
but I think that has
Also-
more to do with
also,
love of
so-
Gundam.
No,
than
no, no, no,
Dynasty
no, no.
Warriors.
I didn't even like Gundam. I like G Gundam, and I love those games.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. Also, the guy who voices Light Yagami in the dub of Death Note.
Death Note.
He
There you go.
apparently voices like every single character in
he's all-
Gundam
yeah.
because most of the game is just him talking to himself.
That's really funny.
But I really hate, because I wanted Dynasty Warriors to go far, but Kirby.
Kirby's
Kirby,
really
there's
good.
not a bad Kirby game is the thing.
I can't.
There are some media. No, Epic Yarn is one of
Epic
the
Yarn
most
was just
Epic
really
Yarn is-
adorable,
but the-
heartwarming
That's
games
the thing.
I have
Epic
ever
Yarn,
played.
I would say, is the worst Kirby game, and it's still good.
Well,
I
hang
don't know
on.
about
Star
that.
Allies is probably.
Is that the one on the Switch? I haven't
Yeah,
played
that's
that
the
one.
newest
That's the
one.
one. That's the
it?
only
I haven't
one I
played
haven't
that one
played.
It's not a bad game. It's just it's way too easy because you.
It's a Kirby game.
I've
Yeah,
never played a
but-
Kirby game and not had fun.
It's so crowded.
And I have gone back to Nightmare in Dreamland at least 20
Oh
times.
god, I
best
played
game.
this.
You can
shit.
go back to Kirby. You can go back to the original Kirby's Dream Land, and it'll be the best 8 minutes of your day.
Also, like Great Cave Offensive, like all the Super NES game Kirby.
So if we're
stuff
gonna count
is
Great Cave Offensive, here's the real question:
I mean, it's included
does
in a Kirby
Subspace Emissary count as a Kirby game?
game. No, it does not. That is included in the Smash
I've gotta,
Brothers.
I've got to include one Kirby game that I know no one's gonna mention unless I do.
Kirby
Tilt and
Air
Tumble.
Ride.
What?
Tilt and Tumble. I wanted that
Tumble's
game
good.
so
And
bad as
that-
a kid.
That's
oh my
one of the
God.
things that I love about Kirby is that every single game has some crazy new innovation.
Yeah,
that
they do
works.
something really weird in
It's
every
like
game.
Tilt and Tumble.
Like-
hey, you turn the Game Boy and he'll roll this way. Epic Yarn, you're all yarn.
Now,
Kirby's Air Ride, it's a one-button racer where you go around a city and get power-ups, and then your best friends all hate you.
I did not
Kirby
think that
Air Ride City Trial is the best multiplayer game mode ever. 1, 2, 3, Kirby.
I do love Dynasty Warriors.
They should
though.
make a Kirby's Dynasty
Hey,
Warriors.
can we,
also.
can we
I'd play
take
it.
like a 3-minute break because my dick's falling asleep?
1, 2, 3, and we're back.
Alrighty.
Next up,
Someone pull. I don't care who it
it's
is.
me. It's my turn. I haven't pulled in a minute. All right, Tim. So what are you gonna yell? What game are you gonna yell out this time? Before anyone reads.
Shadow Hearts.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I really want. If anybody has a copy
no,
of Shadow
go
Hearts
ahead.
that they
You
want to
pick
give away,
first.
No, you
give
go
it to
ahead.
me.
You picked first.
I
So
have
yours
told-
comes first.
Spyro the Dragon.
Oh,
Poor little buddy's about to get murdered.
it's about to get fucking.
No,
Spyro
hold on.
is up against Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not gonna get stomped and murdered.
Here's what I'll say is that the ratio of good to bad Sonic games is actually similar to the ratio of good to bad Spyro games.
Absolutely
But
correct.
what I will say is I think if you go just by ratios, yes. If you go by weight of bad games, I think Sonic far outseats
But
Spyro.
the best Sonic games are not as good as the best Spyro games.
No, they are not.
That's true. So are we gonna go with highest highs or lowest
Lowest
lows?
lows.
Okay, but hear me out
Spyro's
here.
got some real high highs.
I don't like either series, so it's gonna be based
You
on
don't
the
like Spyro?
no. It's gonna be based on the arguments here, boys.
Okay, I got
If
this.
If you
if
vote
more
for
than-
Sonic, I mean,
if
I'm
more
voting for
people-
Sonic.
The
Okay,
first
so we have Let's see where everyone's at first.
I'm voting for Spyro.
I'm voting for Sonic.
People are gonna hate me for
So
this.
Sonic
Yes.
and your
Spyro.
okay, so it's 2 and 2 right now.
I don't wanna have
Let's
to
see
do
if
this.
somebody debates somebody on
Hey,
the
Jacob,
opposing team
fist bump.
over.
But you can't
Ooh,
use
Fist bump.
that.
Yes, you
no.
can.
No. You
You
can't.
can use
hold
music.
on. You can use music, but you can't sway a whole argument by this one Sonic game had this one song you like.
Sonic,
No,
Sonic.
but
Here's the
I
thing.
like
Sonic.
most of Sonic's
Sonic,
music.
even when it's bad, has loads of personality, and you remember them. The fucking other than the first 3 Spyro games, all that Legend of Spyro shit, all of the Game Boy spin-off stuff, that stuff is boring and forgettable and
Oh.
bad.
I've got
But
one.
because you said character, I did just remember Drobot.
Oh, Skylanders does count, doesn't it?
Yes.
The first Skylanders does count, and Drobot is one of my.
Things happen.
We have the worst neighbors in the world.
Look, okay, and a lot of this is based on going back and replaying the HD like redos of the Spyro games.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous and they're so good
But here's-
and they're so much fun. I agree that there's some good and fun Sonic games, and I like Sonic. I have a signed copy of Sonic 06 on my shelf.
That's not a good game.
That's
though.
the worst
hold on.
example you could have given.
No, but hold on. I would say most of what is bad in Sonic, I think there's so much more bad in the weight of it. Like some of it is just unplayably terrible.
And
I
Spyro, at its worst, is just boring.
yeah, I've never played a Spyro game and went, this game's actually unplayable, unfixable, unusable. I just went, this could have been more fun, but it was it's a simple little action adventure platform or whatever. But I've never went, this game is actually unplayable.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing that we're talking about is Sonic has some of the best fucking music, and yes, Spyro's music is good, but Sonic's music hits like a really specific
Yeah,
itch.
Butthole Rock.
But even
Butthole
no,
Mouth
but,
Rock.
But
But
even
you can't
older
ju-
Sonic
you can't justify like you can't disregard it just because of the genre it's in. It's still really fun and encapsulate a dumb video game
even older
experience.
Sonic music has a specific aesthetic to it that's really, really interesting and unique. That I don't. You listen to Sonic 3 and Knuckles soundtrack. I don't think you can find another game that sounds anything like that. It's really cool.
I didn't bring up Sonic Heroes to talk about the soundtrack, which is still good. But I was referring to the fact that if you look at the Sonic franchise as a whole, there's a ton of characters in that series.
And there's a ton
lot
of
of
characters
memorable
that's-
characters. Spyro doesn't have that many memorable characters.
Yes.
Well, the
It
game,
has Hunter the Cheetah.
hold on,
And Moneybags.
But I want to do
And
I want to do rebuttal to this.
Okay, yeah.
I think the difference there is Spyro is a game of generally 1 to 3 main core people that you're around and talking to, and the rest are encounters. Whereas where Sonic's had TV shows, comics, it's had a lot of things to shove other characters in, and some of those characters are bad.
I haven't
Really
seen any
bad.
of the characters from
The characters from the comics actually don't cross over into the games.
No, I'm just saying in general.
And are also
I haven't seen a lot
really
of the
good.
ones that are in the TV series in any of the games either.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Few
Let's
franchises.
just vote so I can be sad that Sonic once again is going forward in the fucking bracket.
1, 2, 3.
Sonic.
Sonic.
Meow?
No, you pulled first. You gotta go first.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can smack this down hard.
Oh, is it gonna get weird?
This argument might
Put-
take like an hour.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
What is it?
Zelda.
Oh, that is hard because both are deeply flawed but have some of the highest highs in any
I
video
was
games
literally
ever.
just thinking that.
And
Fuck.
the most annoying fan bases.
You know, I like this matchup a lot. Do you know why? Because I know one of these is going down. I don't have to talk about them anymore. I know one of them I don't have to fucking fight about ever.
God.
This is a hard one for me because I don't particularly want to vote for either one of them.
Before we get to debating, where's everyone sitting right now?
I don't know.
I
Final
would.
Fantasy.
I'm gonna.
I can't decide.
I'm gonna
It's too
say
close.
Zelda.
Final Fantasy for me right now, but I don't really care because I win in either way because one of them dies.
Okay. I'm gonna
Tim's,
start.
where are you at now?
Oh, I have no idea, man.
Same. It's so
Oh
hard.
my
Okay,
god.
so since you two are currently undecided, I'm gonna go ahead and voice my personal bias towards Zelda.
And I'll go after
I
you.
think Final Fantasy is great. I love Final Fantasy 9, 10, 11, and 14.
6, not
and
6.
6 and 4 as well.
Okay.
But the first 4 I mentioned are the 4 that I've played the most. And I really like those games. But I don't like those games as much as I like Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild.
Link to the Past.
Yes, Link to the Past as well. Like the Seasons and Ages are also great
Link's
on the
Awakening.
phone. Link's Awakening,
Awakening.
Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
I love Spirit Tracks, and no one loves Spirit Tracks. I don't even like Zelda that
I have a
much.
really important question going forward. Does Link to the Past randomizer count in this? Because
Well,
that
I
is
don't-
going to shape my opinion.
I don't think it can.
I don't think so
A
because it
randomizer
is a
cannot
fan-made creation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
I would say no.
But you played Link to the Past so much that you got tired of playing
And
it
started
normally.
playing a randomizer so I could have fun with it again.
You beat it so many times. You told me you beat it how many times when you were little?
Oh,
in
when I
a
was
row?
Oh, I just sat there and played nothing but that for like 3 weeks probably.
3 weeks of nothing but that.
I beat it like 27 times in a row or something like that, and then I could not play it again until the randomizer came out because I was
Yeah.
like, I just know where everything is. This isn't
And
fun.
I want to speak to Steve's point because he has a great point that they both have horrible fan bases.
Oh, for sure. They both have terrible fan bases and they both have great flaws.
I
the
have
thing
never-
about Zelda is I don't even like Ocarina of Time, but it did change gaming. Right? Like it created a
better.
lot of mechanics for gaming for the better. And I think that consistently Zelda has helped for the forward momentum of gaming. And I think that Final Fantasy has not.
I think Final Fantasy in some ways has held it back.
Yeah,
I think-
absolutely.
I think the
Okay.
Final Fantasy formula has drawn RPGs back further and further.
Because it
More
is
and more, because-
simultaneously doing the same thing and innovating in bizarre ways that they
Don't
shouldn't.
matter.
Because seven furthered the 6 furthered the thing. Like, okay, let's go back.
7 was the beginning of the end, but it was also a great game.
4 furthered it. 6 furthered it. 7 furthered it. 9 furthered it.
8
10
furthered
it.
It's
I have actually never played
8's
8,
a
so I'm
weird
not
mess
gotta
of a
get
game,
on
but
that.
it's
I won't.
8
But
is okay.
I think up until 10 it was keeping on furthering the genre, and then after 8, 11 and 14 excluded, started just kind of slipping.
I think Zelda was one of the most stagnant, bullshit,
Yep.
boring series for quite a while
I agree.
between
Sure.
Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild.
So no, because Links Between World was a breath
Sure,
of fresh air.
sure, that happened. But I'm saying, for the most part, Zelda was
sure,
a
I'm not saying that
bad
Zelda-
series for a while.
I'm not saying that Zelda.
According to the
is-
internet, it's the best game series ever, no matter what game
Jeff
it is.
Gerstmann, you scored Twilight Princess too high. That's what I
Too
think.
high. I think the hard part in this discussion is they are very, very different games, but they are both literal cornerstones
Yeah,
of gaming
and
in their
several
genre.
games in
Sure,
each franchise
absolutely.
are
Considered some of the best games of all
considered
time.
some of the just
I
at full stop.
think they have both started going downhill around the same time, and Zelda has finally pulled its way
Yes,
out,
that's
whereas
true.
Final Fantasy is still going not in a good
Final
Other than the
Fantasy is
MMO.
Other
trying
than the
its
MMOs,
best.
like 15, I still didn't like. I thought it was very clumsy, and the story didn't make any sense
Final
because
Fantasy
Nomura's a hack.
I did not like
Nomura
But
is
even though it's an open world game where you can literally
Discover
explore
anything!
and discover
I know
anything.
Breath of the Wild
It's
is good
different,
because it is
dude.
nuanced and
It's
smart about how it
it's
does it.
nuanced and subtle, and
I like
the
Final
things you
Fantasy
discover.
15,
The
but-
things you discover aren't. Oh, it's a chest. I get a cool item, or oh, it's a boss fight. It's oh, this is an interesting little island that tells a story all on its own, just because it's
But
here.
Final Fantasy 15,
and
you get
what's
to go
placed
kill
here.
animals to put in your cup noodles.
So,
Could you really?
Yes.
Also,
I guess I never did
How
that.
far did you play in the 15?
I played a good 10 hours,
Oh,
I got-
and I was
that's-
bored as
I
shit.
got about halfway. I think I'm at the end of chapter 6.
I-
Maybe the beginning of chapter 7.
I had the big thing happen where you go back.
spoilers.
Whatever. Hey, it's the game franchise brackets. It's gonna be spoilers. I went back to my home, and it was taken over by evil people all of a
And
sudden.
you had to,
That's the
and then
first
you
part
had
of
to
the
watch,
game,
and then you had to watch Kingsglaive to understand what the fuck was happening. Turn. Steve had a thing to say.
Yes,
Okay,
not
well,
tell you.
okay, obviously, Final Fantasy and Zelda, both franchises spawning many games and a lot of spin-offs too. And he
You know.
he defended his Zelda thing. I'm gonna start defending Final
That's fine.
Fantasy.
Okay.
We're gonna take Final Fantasy 15 and we're gonna take that one and just push it off to the side.
Just like what? No, that's fair because
Yeah,
we took Twilight Princess and just
Yeah,
pushed it over to the
that's-
side.
No,
I'm
I
letting-
accept that it's bad.
I'm letting them cancel each other out, basically,
Yeah.
is what I'm doing.
That's fair.
Like we're gonna take the best games and put them up against each
Yeah,
other.
that's
I'm not
fair.
even gonna like sit here and defend Final Fantasy VIII because even though it's my favorite, I know it has a lot of problems and it's not the best Final Fantasy game.
Aw, look
So you're,
at you.
you're
I'm proud of
I'm
you.
just gonna point out something. You're saying that 15 cancels out
Twilight
Princess. What cancels out 13?
Skyward
Minish
Sword.
Cap,
And Minish Cap was good.
in your opinion.
Listen,
All right, Steve. We need to move on. What's your point?
Okay, so first Final Fantasy comes out. There are other RPGs out there, like we were saying earlier,
Dragon
Dragon
Quest,
Quest
yeah.
series. Final Fantasy, if you go back and play it now, it's just stupid cookie cutter, kind of boring.
But you can say the
honestly.
same thing about Zelda 1.
Yeah, exactly. But back then, Final Fantasy came out and it just revolutionized the JRPG genre.
Yeah.
Like so much, and like a lot of the games that come out, like especially like the SNES era, they would add a few things every once in a while, but for the most part it was just the same setup.
Yeah.
7 came out and you could say what you want about it, like it's pretty dated. I personally think 7's overrated. but
Big thing.
you
I
cannot
also do.
deny the impact that it had on the gaming industry. When
No,
it
it's
came out.
It
gigantic.
took a genre that was not popular in America, and suddenly that was one of the most popular genres for several years.
It's like Dragon Ball Z coming to America.
Every RPG that came out after Final Fantasy VII for the longest time was always compared to 7. That's what happened to Final Fantasy VIII. But once again, I'm not going to talk about Final Fantasy VIII.
But again, that and compared to a game similar, that's what happened with Ocarina of Time and adventure games.
Yes, but that style of game was already pretty popular over here.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, after it came out,
Yes,
people went,
yeah, they
is
were all
it as good as
yeah,
Ocarina of
yeah,
Time?
no, that's true. That's true.
And that still goes on today.
Yeah, that is like.
And
two
I don't
of
even
the-
like Ocarina of Time.
Hey, excuse me, princess.
Let's take a vote.
Yep.
Final Fantasy, raise your hand.
I don't know.
I haven't decided.
I haven't
You
decided.
have to. You have to.
Not right. Okay.
No, you do right now.
I'm.
This is our vote.
I vote for Final Fantasy.
Then Final Fantasy moves on.
Tim's?
I have no idea. I still don't know.
I just
Have
want
your
it to be
choice.
known that I do not hate Zelda.
I don't
I
either.
love Zelda.
Well, I do.
And while Majora's Mask is one of my favorite games ever, and I love Link to the Past, none of the other Zelda games have hit me as hard as the best Final Fantasy games have hit me.
Well,
I think there's an RPG bias in this.
There's
in
not.
this
I
group.
fucking hate JRPGs.
You voted for Kingdom Hearts,
That's not
the
a JRPG.
JRPG.
but it is RPG systems.
It's an action game with RPG elements.
Yeah.
yeah, so is Zelda.
Okay, next.
Yeah, Zelda totally has stats.
Final Fantasy VIII rocks. You should play it if you
Zelda-
haven't.
Zelda.
I don't feel
absolutely
good
has
about what I
stats.
just did. Can I take it back?
No.
Right.
Hitman.
Versus Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Absolutely Fire Emblem.
And I hate turn-based strategy games, and I still say Fire Emblem.
I'm
I'm gonna say Fire Emblem.
saying Fire Emblem.
I mean,
let's
you
move
know,
on.
I'm saying Fire Emblem, but I do want to
The
say
newest
something
Hitman's
about
good. All
Hitman.
the others are bad.
No.